a woman being seen just as a body, it hurts a lot. And from my own experience. How can this stop? Like, when will it stop? Like, how can you see how can you see a person just as a body? What is the root cause? Where does it start?
You answer it. You know already. You have attended enough sessions and you have lived through enough life to know the answer.
The start point, though.
The beginning point is the birth of the being.
We're just driven by nature.
Driven by Prakriti. So it might begin with the birth of the body, but then it is exacerbated by social conditioning. And when there is nothing beyond the body in your life, you have no option but to consider yourself as a body. The ego needs something to identify with, right? And if that great, that tremendous is not available, then what else is there to be identified with? The body. And there is an incentive in getting identified with the body. The body offers a lot of pleasures. What is the solution? You know the solution, right? Just as a lot of conditioning brings a man or a woman to be more and more body identified, similarly, rigorous spiritual education is needed. And one has to remember that body identification is not merely a spiritual matter. It is not merely an otherworldly concern. Body identification is the root cause of all evils in the world. You name any problem and you will be able to trace it back to body identification. Unless there is rigorous spiritual education, you cannot get rid of body identification. One needs an identity, right? If there is no other identity, the body is the obvious identity. You cannot live identityless. The ego needs an address, a name. The ego has to be something or somebody. The easy choice is the body. And when you are body identified, then you have no option but to destroy the world. Because if you are body identified, then the only reality to you is the world. What is it that the body can perceive? The world, nothing else. And identified with the body, you are greatly hungry. You haven't identified with the body for nothing. You have identified with the body for a purpose. What is that purpose? Contentment. I want satisfaction through the body. Now what will the body do? The body will consume the world in order to get satisfaction. But even if you consume away the entire world, that satisfaction doesn't come. So we see what is happening now. In order to get satisfaction, man has burnt down the entire world and is still not satisfied. And will never be satisfied. Even if the entire universe is burnt down to ashes, man will still not gain contentment because man is choosing a false route. You can never get contentment through the body. It is not a spiritual axiom or something. It is a matter of practical observation. Lack of spirituality is destroying human beings and the world. Human beings are being destroyed from the inside. The world is being destroyed on the outside. There is fire in man's mind and there is fire in the forests. One is visible, one is not. But both are the same thing. It is starting even before birth. So we said you are already body identified when you are born. That is why rigorous spiritual discipline is needed to get rid of this. Forget about getting totally rid of this. Even to keep this in check. Even to limit it to sane levels, you require rigorous spiritual education. Otherwise, there is just inner and outer destruction. Don't jump the gun. Between you and your conclusion, at least as of now, I am sitting.
I was thinking about the bondages. So one thing that I observed is that I am afraid of losing money. As in, I am very confident as long as I have money. So it gives me a sense of freedom that I don't have to depend on anyone. There's nothing that I should be afraid of. So as long as I have my stable income, I'm absolutely not, I don't care about anything else. So if I have to leave everything and join the foundation or even any other noble cause, I know that I will not earn as much money. So there is that bit of hesitancy that if I do not earn enough money, then I might become dependable on someone.
You have to clearly know how much is enough. Don't leave it vague. The more clearly you define what is and how much is enough for you, the easier would it be for you to act. It is great that you do not want to be dependent on someone. It is great that you earn for yourself. But you must know how much is enough. I would strongly advise you to never move around with a begging bowl. It's great that you must have something in hand, and not bad if you have something in the bank as well. Fine. But how much? And as much as is needed must be arranged.
So my initial thinking was that I'll work for a couple of years, arrange for certain things, and then I can do whatever I want. But then there is this confusion where that by the time I arrange things, am I too late in starting off what I should?
Now, arrange with respect to what? First of all, you have to clearly figure out who you are and how much is enough for you. Otherwise, the question of arrangement of a particular level of funds would remain very open-ended and unanswered. If I do not know who I am, how would I ever know how much money do I need?
I feel a very strong pull towards something in this direction. At the same time, it's very overwhelming. I get panic attacks sometimes before a camp begins or before I have to do any task. I purposely find an excuse to, maybe not do something. Like I attended this camp late. I came for all the 3 days, but I attended it late because I just feel overwhelmed. At the same time, there's something extremely captivating which I can't.
These two are the same thing. Same thing. It is because there is something very, very enthralling, something very compelling. That is why you also feel the awe and therefore the resistance. Nobody likes things to go out of control. Right, yeah. Nobody wants to be attracted without measure. One wants everything to be capped, controlled, limited. So when something is hugely overpowering, then one is compelled to resist it. So these two are two aspects of the same thing. The attraction and therefore the panic and the resultant resistance. All that is only as long as you keep a safe distance. What if you had taken over upon yourself the responsibility of arranging something in the morning or afternoon of the first day itself? Would you have then afforded to come late in the evening? That's what. So all these mental games are only as long as you maintain an arm's length.
I feel I'm doing that. I'm maintaining an arm's length.
Sooner than later, you see, without your conscious choice, without the thing coming in your notice, you will find that you are unable to maintain that separation, that distance. Better sooner than later. It's anyway going to happen, not because you will necessarily choose that it happens, but because it is bound to happen that way. You cannot remain in a magnetic field and yet afford to be stagnant for long, especially when the field is becoming stronger and stronger. So at some point you will have to get sucked in. If you know that that is destined, then better sooner than later. And Nimisha, these are stories. If you stay away from something, what else can you have? Not facts, but stories. The moment you join the action, all these things just vaporize because there is no space left for them. You see, there is so much to do here. After this, or rather when you are into this, how will you manage to think about this and that? Did this Vishranti actually go perfectly well? It didn't. So there was a lot to do, And if we get into that, then the various miscellaneous thoughts and these things not only go away, but also one comes in touch with a reality that is beyond our conception, our imagination. What I am saying and what I am up to and what do I want for myself and for you, that you will know in a much better way when you are an activist rather than merely a passive participant.
But how do I overcome that fear that I won't be able to handle it or I won't be able to do it?
Let's try. Let's see. How do I know that I'll be able to handle your question? Look at me, poor me. You keep throwing all kinds of things at me and I don't even have the option to say no ball. Only 2 bouncers allowed per over. You can throw 6 bouncers, you can throw a beamer, you can bowl underhand. You can even come right up to my nose and then throw the ball at me. I have to play. I have to engage you, right? I cannot declare your query, your delivery illegitimate and walk away. So let's just try. Let's see. Let's see whether we have the appetite for it. And I have great trust. When I invite somebody to try something out, within I am smiling because I know the result of the trial in advance. I know I don't have to sell something to you. I know I don't have to advertise or try too hard with you. I know I just have to get you agree to try. I don't need your consent. I only need your experimentation. Once you experiment with it, consent is obviously forthcoming. So let's try. And try with all the skepticism that you can muster. I'm not asking you to try as a believer. Try as a skeptic. Try as a critic. You may even try with the intention to disprove me. Okay with that. I have just too much of a deep belief in something to be dissuaded by your lack of belief. Try, let's see. You don't have to straight away take a decision and jump. Proceed as carefully as you want to, one step at a time.